5 record denials, a severed leg, a man being held in jail, but not charged with a crime.
The clock is ticking after a 72-hour extension to hold this person of interest ending tomorrow. Our Bill Miston joins us to catch us up on the speed of where the story is going and how we got here. Bill?
Yeah, hey there, guys. It was last week that a severed leg was found in Cudahy, and 2 days later, investigators searched a South Side home, and a man has been arrested. And the sheriff's office says that is part of a homicide investigation. Investigators worked late into the night last Thursday. Flashlights illuminated the inside of a South Side home. Investigators showed up hours earlier and arrested 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson. Anderson owns the home near 39th and Oklahoma. The sheriff's office says Anderson's a person of interest in the case, a homicide investigation. Earlier this week, prosecutors were granted a 72-hour extension to hold Anderson without charging him.
See it happen too often. The system likes to get these cases reviewed and decided upon quickly, but in this situation, when facts are literally developing from day to day, I think it was a fair ask.
That investigation began on April 2nd after a severed leg was found along Lake Michigan near Warnemont Park. Human remains were found at 3 other scenes in less than a week in Milwaukee County, but investigators have been tight-lipped and haven't said if it's connected.
What you're trying to do, the prosecutor, is find some kind of evidence that is going to link the person of interest back to either the crime scene, the victim, or an object that's associated with the crime. And so this extra window gives them time to try to make those links.
We know family of a missing woman, Sadie Robinson, tell Fox 6 they were invited to attend that court hearing. But investigators haven't said if her case is connected. That 72-hour extension ends Friday morning. New information is helping loved ones search for the rest of a Milwaukee woman's body, 1 day after prosecutors charged a man with killing her. Fox 6's Durante Matthews joins us in studio to show us where that search is now focused.
That's right, Bill. Loved ones of 19-year-old Sade Robinson now know all of the places where her phone was the night police say she was killed. The family tells me finding the rest of her body is now a matter of closure. It's becoming more critical to leave no stone unturned.
We need to find our cousin, our family, so that she can have a proper burial.
The search to find the rest of 19-year-old Sade Robinson's body weighs heavily on families' heads and hearts.
We're never going to be at peace if we can't find her.
More than 24 people got together Saturday looking in places police say Sade's phone was when police believe she was killed, including Warnemont Park in Cudahy. It's where Sade's leg was found.
We're just really playing it by ear, searching areas that we think he may have gone, train tracks or bridges by his home.
Prosecutors charged 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson on Friday with killing Robinson, dismembering her body, and setting her car on fire. Her family watched Anderson through glass at his court appearance Friday.
This sick son of a is gonna pay. This is justice for Sade. Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Family says they don't know how the two met. Investigators say the two went to dinner at a Menominee Valley bar and restaurant and then went to a Water Street bar the night she was last heard from on April 1st.
Everybody know where the playground at?
Back at Warnemont Park Saturday afternoon, Sade's friend says he came from Minnesota to join the search.
I could just see the hurt in her family's eyes, and that hurt me to the deepest part of my heart, and I want to bring them justice as well.
He says helping to find her remains will help with closure.
Sade, she was a very sweet and compassionate girl. I think she deserves justice.
Justice that is yet to be found. The family tells me they're going to continue their searches across the county. Anderson remains jailed on a $5 million.
Well, hi there, everybody. My name is Tony Grillo. Welcome to my channel, Wisconsin Hugs. I am, I'm right by McDonald's here. Getting ready to do a little door dashing because today I don't work at Walmart. So, wanted to talk about this this case here that we had going on about 2 weeks ago, was it? Didn't seem that long ago. I live right here in Cudahy, Wisconsin, and a leg was found, like a severed leg was found along the beach of Lake Michigan right here in Cudahy. And it kind of shocked everybody because, we normally, Cudahy is a pretty quiet city. It's a suburb just south of Milwaukee, and it's a there's not a whole lot of, you get a little bit of crime here and there, but you don't have murders here. You don't have like crazy stuff like that happening here. And but it just so happened that a leg was like a Pizza Hut manager was murdered here not that long ago, and now we have this leg that was found by the water, and it was pretty terrifying because there was a young, very beautiful young 19-year-old. Her name was Sadie, and she lived in Milwaukee, and she was missing. Her car was found burned, and when it was mentioned that the leg was found, the police weren't given any more details about what was going on, and I could just imagine the family, for the next few days, her family was just like besides themselves, wondering, God, does that leg belong to her? And then what was really weird about this case was that they had a guy already arrested, like really fast, So, all of us were like, we were glad they caught the guy, or they think they said, hey, the person of interest was caught. We were glad that they caught him. So, but then it was like, why was it so quickly? I mean, it was like, there had to be a link between the two. This wasn't like a crime of opportunity or something, where she was preyed upon by somebody, and then that usually takes forever to try to find the guilty person who committed the crime. But obviously there was a connection between these two, and what was the connection? It was the same thing with the Pizza Hut murder. The manager was killed by an employee. That was the link between the two. So, and they caught that guy very fast. So, obviously they caught, they figured they had the right guy. There was enough evidence they had to arrest him. They don't make these arrests lightly around Milwaukee. They just don't, because of, what happened with, up in Minneapolis and all that. The police really make sure they get things right, because of they don't want any bad press. Especially when it involves the races, So, in this situation, unfortunately, it was a young, very beautiful young, and she was black lady, just beautiful, and she was killed by a white guy. He was 30-something years old, I believe 33 years old or 31, something like that. I'm not exactly sure what his age. I know he's in his 30s. And, they had been on a date together. It was their very first date that they went, and so they were on this first date, and they went to, I guess, a place in northern Milwaukee, like Menominee Falls, and then from there they went to a bar down in Milwaukee, and then they wound up going to his house. So the date must have been going really well, and then after that, she disappeared, and so obviously the police zeroed in on this guy right away, because he was the last person to have been with this beautiful young lady, and now we're getting sketches that he might have had some kind of like sex dungeon in his basement, and so. Now we're, and this guy also had a record for disorderly conduct. Now, disorderly conduct things don't always mean that the guy is going to be a murderer, but this is really a just crazy case that happened here. So this guy apparently, brought her back to his place. I don't know if he had a sex dungeon or not. Maybe she saw the dungeon and she didn't want any part of this guy anymore and wanted to leave, and obviously it became a horror movie, a real life horror movie, and the guy wound up, killing her. I don't know what he all did to her. The coroner, hasn't released anything. I don't know if he, what he did, but obviously he killed her and he dismembered her body, and just, I feel so bad for the family. and it sucks because this young lady, she was so beautiful and she was so smart, and she had her whole life ahead of her at 19 years old, and now that's been denied, and her family has been denied the pleasure of watching her grow up and getting married and having children and having a whole life out there and seeing what she would accomplish as a beautiful young person. And it's sad. It's sad that it was snuffed out just like that, And then the guy, like threw her body parts in a whole bunch of different locations. And in fact, the leg was found here in Cudahy. This is where I live. I live in Cudahy. So, and I take my dog walking along that beach over there on Warmont Park. We're always there all the time. In fact, some of my videos on YouTube, it's the exact place. I show you the water, Lake Michigan, and I show you the bluff trails. That's Warmont Park right there, and that's where she was found. Was the stuff in my videos? She was found there, that beautiful park. So sad story, but it's I guess it's you got to be really careful who you go out with nowadays, and obviously she liked the guy, she trusted him, she went back home with him, the date was going really well, and I don't know what this guy was thinking. I mean, he must have never watched any true crime documentaries or anything, because they were able to follow her cell phone, ping it off, and they knew exactly where her last location was. They knew it was his house, and then they were able to follow his cell phone and her cell phone, and they were able to track where some of the body parts were because of his phone. And so it's just sad, so sad. And I guess you young ladies out there, you don't need me to tell you, you gotta be careful out there on these dates and everything. It's just, that sucks. I thought I'd bring it to all your attention, but yeah, about this story, and we're just very sad by everything for the family. But I hope the rest of you, I'm going to go out and DoorDash with my dog, get some work done, and I hope you all have a great day. Wisconsin hugs.